While I was with Lord Leo, we received word that Grand Lord Renlar will be arriving tomorrow. The son of Lord Rune Vivek? I know you are grieving, but we cannot let any more time pass before signing the treaty. Would you be willing to represent House Ravenwood when he arrives? Yes. There was no hesitation in her voice. Her mother might still be the figurehead for House Ravenwood, but her gift had already marked her as the new head of house. And she had a promise to keep to Amara, to protect their sister Opheliana at any cost. She would find a way back to Rook Castle, one way or another. The rain continued to fall as Selene walked beside Damien toward the meeting hall the next afternoon. The usual gleaming white halls of Lux Casta were cool and gray in the light of the storm. Every few minutes, lightning flashed outside, followed by a hollow boom. Servants moved from room to room, removing the mourning cloth from pictures and furniture and replacing the black banners with the standards of House Lucerus once again. Lord Warren's body had been escorted to the family mausoleum that morning, but War did not allow time for grieving or for the luxury of announcing the next Grand Lord. Instead, Lord Leo had been named head of House Lucerus in a private coronation in the Temple of Splendor, with only his siblings and the priests as his witnesses, shortly after his father was interred. Now Lord Leo would represent his people in the upcoming treaty, and Selene wondered if he would still vote the same way his father had. A guard stood on either side of the white double doors that led into the room beyond. Both bowed to Damien and Selene before one opened the door on the right and ushered them into a long hall with white stone walls, alabaster marble floor, and tall windows along one side of the room. Rain tapped against the glass in a soothing manner. In the middle was a beautifully carved table that filled the length of the room. Around the table were ornate chairs, almost like small thrones. A silver chandelier hung above the table, casting light across the area. They were the first to arrive. Damien walked over to the left and pulled out the chair farthest from the door. Without a word, Selene took the seat, and he pushed the chair in before taking the one next to her. Soon after, Lady Byron arrived. She spotted Damien and Selene and nodded, remaining unusually quiet and reserved as she sat on the opposite side of them. Rain ticked off the time as the three waited. Low, muffled voices echoed on the other side of the doors. When the door opened seconds later, Lord Leo entered, his white cloak fluttering behind him and his blonde hair brushing his collar like threads of gold. Right behind him came another man, with rich dark skin and thick black hair, wearing the striking colors House Vivek was known for. His tunic was deep blue and made of silk, with stars embroidered along the collar, the symbol and colors for his house. A black leather vest and pants completed his outfit. His face drew Selene's gaze, those smooth edges, that glint of intellect. There was no doubt about it. He was Lord Renlar Vivek, the son of Lord Rune. Lord Leo approached the table. He stopped at the head and placed his fingers along the wooden surface, then looked at those gathered. There was something different about him. He seemed taller, more regal. There was an air of confidence and authority around him, almost as if the coronation had changed him from the firstborn son to Grand Lord. He motioned toward Lord Renlar, who now stood at his side. "My fellow lords and ladies, may I present to you Grand Lord Renlar of House Vivek." Starting to the right, Lord Leo introduced each person present. Lady Byron dipped her head at the mention of her name. Damien and Lady Selene bowed. "Thank you, everyone," Lord Leo continued, "for agreeing to meet on such short notice, even though you just arrived." He glanced at Lord Renlar, "and with all the events that have occurred over the last few days." His jaw tightened for a moment. Selene felt the same contraction as grief washed over her own heart. Lord Renlar bowed. "I understand the gravity of this meeting." His voice was low and had a slight rumble to it. "But perhaps before we begin discussing..."